Now, there are growing concerns about the new Bank of Ghana measures, which kick in tomorrow to check the depreciation of the Ghana cedi against the major trading currencies. The stability of the cedi has been the source of concern for many, as it has struggled to maintain stability, depreciating significantly against the dollar, euro, and the pound as well. But to deal with this, head of the Bank of Ghana is rolling out a raft of measures, including a clampdown on black market operators and a requirement for only licensed forex bureau operators to perform forex transactions. Persons transacting forex businesses are also required to produce their Ghana card as proof of identification before funds are exchanged for them. Now, Isaac Ofieje is with our research desk, and he joins me in studio with some help through the figures. Kofi, let's check through what this really means. Now, if you look at the data, what's the data telling us?
I mean, Kojo, this new directive is actually long overdue because, I mean, if you look at the role of the black market in the depreciation of the local currency, it is really, really huge. But you need to ask yourself, why do we have a reliable black market that people actually fall on whenever they need forex, even though we have forex bureaus scattered across the length and breadth of the country? That's another angle that we come to in this discussion. But I would say that this new directive, if really implemented well, I think will save the country some sort of stability in terms of the depreciation of the local currency. If you ask me about the outlook of the cedi this year, we know that if you look at available data provided by the Bank of Ghana and other independent monitoring that we've also done, the market, the Bloomberg data and what have you, you've seen that right after the government signed that new agreement with the IMF in terms of passing the second review, what we've seen is that the stability of the cedi has been, is actually good now. Why? Because if you look at the first 4 or 5 months of the year, that was not the case. We saw the cedi depreciating, rapidly against major trading currency, and the U.S. greenback was #1, of which I think from beginning of year to now has lost more than 18% of its value against the dollar. That's even the official rate that we know. If you go to the retail
cedi has
market,
lost 18% of its value.
Exactly, that's at the interbank level. If you go to the commercial, space or the retail space, this figure is more, it goes beyond the 20% that people are even quoting. Currently, if you want $1, you need to have between 15 cedis, 50 pesos to 16 cedis, or a little above 16 cedis to afford $1, which is significantly higher than what we began the year with, Kojo.
Interesting. Now, if you look at it, we are trying to solve the issue, with this whole clampdown thing. But you need to look at the black market and what that also presents to the team that's going to do this implementation.
I mean, I think that this is a risky decision that we are taking. The reason why I say this is risky is that the main concern is with supply. It's not about people preferring black market. Why are people even preferring black market? It's because they want the money and they are not getting it. We know the kind of scarcity the country is facing when it comes to dollar supply, where there's huge difference between the demand and supply. That has actually created this reliable black market that we have, where people want dollars from the banks, they go there, they don't get it from the forex bureau. Sometimes it's so difficult. The rates they give you when you are selling is sometimes less, or when you want to buy is so high. It is because of this that people rely on the black market for the dollar. So it all has to do with demand and supply pressure. So if Bank of Ghana is coming in with all these raft measures, this number of measures, the key question we need to ask ourselves is that, do we have the muscle to supply the kind of dollars, the quantum of dollars that the economy is demanding? If not, this can create some sort of problems or challenge for the Bank of Ghana, and even in the economic space, where if it's not really done well, it can cause the cedi depreciation to really, really go up, because now the people that you can go there and get the money, I'm talking about the black market, or when you tighten, regulations and measures, sometimes it creates some form of difficulties for people, and they tend to go outside the norm. They want ease, and so whilst the Bank of Ghana is requesting for identification and what have you. One other thing that they need to really make sure they tackle is the supply. They need to make sure that
the supply. Well, the statement says effective August 1, 2024, all licensed foreign exchange bureaus will be required to use the centralized platform for the buying and selling of foreign currencies. Well, let's see how this will go. It again says the buying and selling of foreign currencies shall only, so this is instructive, because it says it shall only be conducted at the Bank of Ghana licensed foreign currencies dealers, which include licensed foreign exchange bureaus. So if you don't fall within this category, you cannot benefit. Now, okay, you want to make a comment?
No, in essence, we're just talking about the commercial banks, the 23 dealer banks and forex bureaus and possibly other institutions mandated to take dollars.
So if you're not a licensed forex bureau, you cannot do this.
You cannot.
Remember they closed down some of them early this year and last year.
Even last year we saw the clampdown.
All right. Now, it again says all foreign exchange bureaus transactions shall be conducted on the new trading platform. So I guess there's a platform for that. So they can monitor the ins and out. Maybe that's how they can regulate the inflows.
For me, that would be the game changer because we've been complaining about people just exchanging and we do not even know their background data or what have you. It's so difficult even tracking the exchange of currencies in Ghana because we do not have a common platform for this. And so if the Bank of Ghana is going to make available a common platform where if Kojo is going to the Forex Bureau A to go and exchange money, his details will be collected. Bank of Ghana will know how much you came to exchange, what possibly you are going to use the money for, and your other background details. This will help in the planning process and also help the Bank of Ghana to gauge the actual demand position on the ground and also meet it with some of their auctions that they do in terms of their responsibility, Kojo.
Now, the Bank of Ghana says foreign exchange bureaus are required to issue electronic receipts to customers.
I like this.
To customers.
I like
okay,
this. Yes,
so electronically.
Yes.
So why do you like it?
Yeah, the reason why I like it is that once you are issuing electronic receipt, that it means that it's going into a centralized platform. Bank of Ghana can now track all of these transactions and exchanges. Now I can just walk to the Forex Bureau. I have dollars. And then I say that I want Cedis change or I want dollars exchange with the Cedis, and nobody will know the transaction that has actually gone on. It's just between me and the person at the Forex Bureau. No background information about me, no background information about how much the transaction I did and all of that, which doesn't really exist in so many countries. So many countries, these rules are actually implemented and enforced, and people go by them. I think just Togo, you can't just walk to any Forex Bureau or even in Ivory Coast and say you are changing CFA or anything. They will request for certain identification or background information. That helps with the tracking. And I was going to say that how is Bank of Ghana going to do it? But with the introduction of the electronic receipt, that means that there's going to be a centralized system to track all of this and help with the
and there's going to be a trace as well, so that they can trace it to Kojo or Kofi who did this particular transaction. Now it says all persons seeking to buy or sell foreign currencies must provide a Ghana card or passport for foreign nationals and undergo biometric verification. Wow.
This is good. This is good, Kojo.
This is, well, it looks like it's a very thought-through approach that they are using.
Yes, and we've been waiting for this for a long time. Why do I say so? Because we see how people are able to use some amount of money to just, sway the economy to go in a certain direction in terms of, maybe wanting a city to go to a certain direction. Now with this system, if there are people in the system trying to influence the market, Bank of Ghana can now track them depending on the volume of transaction that they do. Because I just look at even our mobile money data. Now, our mobile money transaction value is tangential to the GDP of the country. It has reached 1 trillion. The GDP of Ghana is now about 1 trillion. How are we able to track all of it? It's a centralized tracking and tracing of data. It is so difficult knowing how much dollars or foreign exchange was done in Ghana because of the influx of this, black market and what have you. But I keep saying that before this can work properly, one thing that Bank of Ghana must assure Ghanaians is that they can meet, even if not all, significant portion of the demand in terms of when it comes to the dollar demand or whatever currency that people are demanding.
Of course, when demand outstrips supply, then of course the price will rise.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because if we don't do this well, we might end up creating more black markets.
Okay.
Because people want it. And if you create this restriction, the Bank of Ghana doesn't have the buffer to do the supply, what happens is that those who are already in the black market with who have the dollars currently will also increase their margins because it's risky getting their money.
Okay.
If you really want it, you need to pay some premium to get it. So if this thing is not really done well, it can create another black market on its own, Kojo.
Okay. So it's all about how the fight on the black market is implemented alongside this. But it tells you one thing, that probably digitalization may probably bring us some good in the end.
In fact, that is the way to go. And that's why I said that I love the fact that we are introducing the electronic receipt system. That's definitely from digitalization.
Interesting.
And we've seen how this is going to, even in the e-levy case that I made mention of, it is because of the established infrastructure around how the transaction is actually tracked and all of those things. That's how we are able to monitor the volumes of transaction, the number of people involved in terms of, people doing transactions, agents and what have you, the number of registered mobile money accounts and all of that. In terms of the exchange rate situation, we don't have such a system. And last year and last 2 years, when we started doing the clampdown, some of us call for some of these things that before you even say that I'm going to the grounds to do a clampdown, you need to have systems. And thankfully, I think that the Bank of Ghana, they've gone a step further to create this system to do the tracking. So I think that this is good, but it all depends on how the implementation will be done. Because if not done well, it can create another black market on its own, and that can be very detrimental to the health of the city.
And I like the point you make about make sure you have supply, enough supply to meet demand. Else, and again, if you don't, even if you are not able to meet the supply, but you are able to check the black market, maybe you will, even if the price will go up, you would control it. Because as we know, in economics, when demand outstrips supply, definitely it's natural that the price would have to go up.
But there's some intelligence that the black markets have that sometimes always detrimental to the economy. They know that they hold a significant portion of the available forex in the country. So, and they are holding dollars or pounds or euro. They know it has value. So if you do a clampdown and they don't want to trade, what happens? They hoard.
They hoard it.
And we don't create dollars, just like I always say, in this country. It's what flows into this country that we use to do transactions. And so if because of this, if it's not really done well and people begin to do hoarding, what happens is that it creates scarcity. And that can cause the exchange rate to go on a certain tangent that possibly Bank of Ghana may not even project.
Okay, all right. Quite interesting breakdown of the new policy directives by the Bank of Ghana there by Isaac Kofi. But it means that, I mean, from tomorrow, if you're going to the Forex Bureau to transact, you need to carry with you your Ghana card, if you're a Ghanaian. If you're a foreign national, you carry with you your passport. What that means is that if you don't have a Ghana card, it will be difficult for you to do that business.
If you're Ghanaian and you don't have a Ghana card,
it will be difficult. And again, I've seen some people who registered their Ghana cards with other people's, because, I won't say Ghana cards, but their SIM cards with other people's Ghana cards. Fortunately, this is Ghana card, so it means that if you don't have the Ghana card, you can go there.
Yes.
The person with the Ghana card would have to go and do that for you.
So this is actually 1:1. It's not like one
to many. All right.
Where, I mean, with the Ghana card, you can register, if you're a local person, maximum of 10 SIM cards. And I think if you're a foreigner, about 5 or 3. But with this, it's different situation. It's 1:1. If you go, they are checking. Yes, exactly. They are checking Kojo's details. You cannot take Kojo's details to go and do the transaction. Remember that the same thing happened in the mobile money space, I think 2 years ago, where if you have to do a transaction, a withdrawal or a transfer, you needed to send your
Ghana card,
your Ghana card
yes,
or your ID or whatever.
Yeah.
But that thing was not sustained. So the fear is that if you have such a precedent, is it going to be the same thing in this space?
So I think what they've done now
is
that
the re-registration.
they've integrated your Ghana card in the system. So today, when you mention your name, like I go and mention
so you don't
my
need
number,
it. Yeah.
they will definitely see my details there. I think that's the education they give.
Yes.
So if you don't have it, it becomes a problem for you. I guess that's probably how this system will be. That without a Ghana card, you cannot do anything.
But Kojo, you see, even if there's a centralized system to check all of this, sometimes identification is important because, mind you, somebody can use your Ghana card to register a number of SIMs. So at every point in time when there's transaction, to protect the bearer of the card, his presence is important, and that's why identification is also important. So you need to run both systems side by side. You don't say that because you have a centralized system with all details concerning Ghana cards, so you don't use the identification anymore. Even at the airport, before you travel, they'll still inspect, although they have your details. They want to see that person A is person A. And in this instance, that's what they want to do with the exchange situation.
Well, but I guess the debate we've been having is that if I have the Ghana card and you have my system, there you shouldn't then bother me about holding my card around, because the system, if you open it, you see my face and name there. If I'm the one.
Well, that's why there's an element of this that I think is interesting and is good, which is the biometric system.
Yeah.
Because the biometric system is the only way that can take the burden of always being with your card.
Yeah.
Because if you take my biometric details and it matches with what's in the system, then that's fine. Yeah. The only reason why you need to present your card is for you to match it with your face.
Okay.
But now that there's going to be a biometric system, there's no need for you to be walking around with your card, which is sometimes a bit risky because you can lose that anytime.
Okay.
So the introduction of the biometric subset for me is a game changer.
Okay. But there's one thing we need to tease out. The challenge with traders and everybody who is so minded by the forex transactions has to do with the exchange rate. How does this system lead to a reduction in the rate? Because that's what traders who import are calling for. How does the system lead to a reduction?
Well, I think that the Bank of Ghana believes that it is the black market that causes the sentiment, where they tend to try and pull the economy in a certain direction so that they can benefit from the spoils. So, mind you, if I'm a black market trader and I have $10,000 and the dollar moves from 15 cedis to 17 cedis, I benefit without doing anything. So sometimes when you have a significant portion of your forex in the hands of black market, they are able to dictate the rate and what happens to the economy. So with this clampdown, the Bank of Ghana is trying so hard to scoop and go into their domain and pick some of what they have to make sure that they are able to get a supply to feed the system. Okay. And then also, I made mention of supply, and also to assure Ghanaians that we can provide what you want. Just go through the system, the right process. Okay. Just recently, Bank of Ghana decided to increase the advance payment for imports. You get it? That was some sort of assurance to traders, because I think the maximum you could do then was $50,000. They raised that amount to $200,000, which means that you can do more than the $50,000. That was a good assurance for traders, because it is more or less like high purchase. And they were concerned. Sometimes when you want to do a big volume of trade, you need to go to the black market to get a huge sum of dollars from the system and all of that. But once the Bank of Ghana came in to give them that assurance that, look, we are available, we have the money. If you want it, we've opened the bracket. You can do more now. That was a good assurance. Okay. And that was an assurance to traders that don't go to the black market, come to us. We can do that for you.
Isaac Kofi, grateful for passing through. So Isaac Kofi is with our research and data desk here at Joy News.